Okay, so I'm gonna double check here and try to get this tutorial to you. What's happening right now is, as we go into Photoshop, I'm gonna take a look at, actually let me check and make sure I'm recording first. Okay, so go to File and create a new document. The pages, this one for all intents and purposes, we're just gonna do a regular paper size, but you can augment that for whatever size you need. And then, let's see, I go to open, and I'm just using the Mortarboard Week files, so I'm just going to try to find something that we can play around with. Let's see, what is this Mortarboard PowerPoint pic? That's pretty basic, so, oh, it looks like I already edited that, so that was my demo I was working on. So I think I'm gonna just pull another file. We'll just close that out and go back to open. Let's get a file going here, and let's see. These are pictures. Oh wait, okay, so we'll get the newsletter and just kind of play around with it. I'm not sure if there's something specific that you want to know how to do as far as editing the photo. That might be something that you're already kind of familiar with. So pretty much what you want to do if you're going to be placing this, you have a couple of options. This is separate from the original document. I just erased the background on that. So if you wanted to do a layover on top of a layer, let's say that you had like a really funky textured background for your image, and then you wanted to get rid of the background, this is what you'd use the magic eraser. And usually you can just right click, but you probably already know that on any of these to see like what they do. The magic background eraser, that's too big, so I'm going to go up here and hardness we don't really need, just maybe reduce the size, and you want to see where the crosshairs are in the center. You just want to make sure that wherever that little plus sign is, whatever that's touching, that's the color that's going to be eliminated whenever you go to get rid of a color. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and try to catch as much area, but I don't know, it looks like it's kind of acting funky, but the gist of it is it's supposed to get rid of, in this case, the yellow. There I had the crosshair on the black, so it took off too much. So you want to make sure you get the crosshair exactly where you want to delete the extraneous color. And this is really better for like fine tune-up work, or, well, I guess it would work on the big stuff. And you can go back in, and if you wanted to fill in with a different color, black obviously isn't the best choice for here, so if you wanted to make a blue banner, you can try that out, or I just zoomed in so that you can kind of see. Go to new and create a layer, and you want to give that a layer name, fill for banner, so that if you do something awful that you don't like, that you can go and get rid of the whole layer if you need to, and it doesn't mess up all the work that you've done before, because sometimes, I don't know, Adobe has some weird stuff going on. So here I just grabbed the marquee tool just to section off an area, and so what that does is, like, if I wanted to fill the area of the box, I'm not sure, okay, and I go to the paint bucket tool and fill it with black. Was the color that I had selected, which is why it's black, but it just fills the parameters of that box. You can adjust the opacity so that if you didn't want it completely black but you wanted to add a shadow, that's usually used for like more upper level graphic design, but it's definitely an option. I do that to add like filmy layers, or if there's a color that is off, I might like blend or something. Or if I wanted to put like a logo somewhere but I didn't want to lose the word, sometimes I can just have like a faint watermark. So here, I'm using the magnetic lasso tool to show how you move things around if you have an area that's selected, but I don't know if that's along the lines of what you want, so I'm just going to show you the placing thing, because I know you mentioned that. So when you save it, you want to make sure that you save the extension as a PDD. It's a Photoshop document file instead of a JPEG, and that's just regular save as. So we're going to go ahead and save that. I don't know what that stuff means. I usually just click OK. And as it closes out, you're back to your original document that you created in the beginning. And so what you want to do is go to Place, and we're going to find that file that we had, and you'll be able to see the difference. So this is the original, and this is the PDD file, and you should be able to see if I hold the cursor over. If you hold the cursor over, it'll show you what's there. So we imported it. I'm not sure, I think I know why it's in grayscale, but let me just show you the basics and we'll come back to that. So you want to hold Shift when you are minimizing and maximizing to make sure that you don't distort the proportions. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see what we're working on. And you can get it sized. In graphic design, the rule of thirds is usually like a pretty big deal, so you want to, I just had it centered in the page so that to try to keep that aesthetic. If you wanted to just adjust something, like make it longer but not wider, or to fit within the page, you also have the option of just clicking on the individual without Shift. That little thing, you can rotate it, but I'm not going to go there. And so as you see the document kind of placed on the page, you want to make sure that the check mark here, you won't be able to go to the next step until you click that, and I don't know, that might be the issue that you are having when you're trying to place things, because I know that gets really frustrating. I'm not really sure. This is an editing error. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Hold on one sec, let me see. Oh, it just, okay. So this is just something that I wrote in text, that this is a demo. And up in the toolbar, if you go to the top, you can pick the font, and if you wanted to pick a color, you could highlight it. Make sure that you highlight in. Once you click the check mark, it's going to be difficult to go back and adjust that. You can do it, it's just easier if you get it kind of where you want it on the first go, and usually that'll go in the section to the right, the bottom right, but I don't have that set up just yet. So what I went to is the word art thing and picked arc out of warp text, so you can change the amount that it bends. And I'm sorry that this didn't show up in the screen, I'm not really sure. The zooming and stuff, I have some weird settings. So this picks the distortion, and if you play with that, you can kind of see what it does in terms of flattening and deepening the arc. And the check mark kind of verifies that's what you want, but because it's in grayscale, you can't see anything. So what you want to go to is RGB color, and go to, yeah, the rasterize flatten, just go with it. And I think, oh, okay, so sequencing, the sequence that you do things makes a huge difference. So what we're gonna have to do, oh, okay, so that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to go over here and click the check mark, because this is probably the problem that you were having. Once, okay, sorry, I'm being silly. So this is, if you're having problems, this is probably the issue that you're having, is that if you're out of sequence, or a lot of times you'll be doing things and you can't figure out what's going on, the first place you need to look is in that corner where the check mark is, because there's a good chance that there's something that you may have, I've accidentally clicked on things, and that's been one of my biggest headaches, where it seems like everything freezes up. So don't click the check mark. Sorry, I'm doing the audio after the fact, and so there's a lot more. I'll probably just clip that out. So take a step backwards after you click the check mark, and you can back up as far as you need to go. This is why layers are really helpful. In a graphic design class, they really want you to make a layer for each thing that you do, but you can go back to the mode image and mode and change it to RGB color and start over again and write out. And so that's actually, even though the initial image is in grayscale, I mean, I can go back and replace that, but that would just take too much time. So make sure that you have it in the right mode before you post it, and so then you can go back and change the color and see that changed the entire red. I didn't really like that, so I'm pretty notorious for the Word documents of just emphasizing a word. And what you'll probably need to do is click within the highlighted, the text area, in order to be able to see your change. And there you can kind of see where I went to arc and so it's set. So let's try this again. We got that set. I guess you can kind of see what I did with the arc. Change the size. So there are lots of different things. That probably works better for like baseball. So did this help at all? This is kind of what I have for right now, but that should get you going. Let me know if you have any questions.